Oh, I like your side. You chop. Like it. I think cushions to okay, still because that's double vision. I'm gonna say you're trying to choke me. No, it's one of the right things. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She wants to choke me, you want to choke me, does anybody else wants to choke me?
Right. Let us know when you're on your way.
We will be.
Right, see you later.
See you after.
Bye. Got one of them cushion things. No. Take your shorts off.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending tonight's meeting. If you've got a mobile phone, could you please switch it on silent or off, please? For duration of this meeting, we appreciate that. Notice of annual council meeting. You are hereby summoned to attend the annual council meeting of Hendon Town Council to be held in the main hall, Hendon Town Council Community Centre, Wiltshire Road, Hendon, commencing at 7 p.m. on Thursday, the 12th of May, 2022, for the purpose of transaction the following business. Item number 1.
Before we start, can I just reference the items that has been recorded in votes, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman, that's numbers 1, 5, 8, 23, 24, 26, 29, 32, 33, 34.
That would approve it.
I'll
Few minutes.
yeah, so you have to say, appreciate the extra.
Move on to item number 1, election of chairman. To elect a chairman of the council for the ensuing year. Have I any proposals, please? And have a show then for Sean Middleton, Councillor Sean Middleton. Have I any other amendments to that? I've got a proposal here for Councillor Jean Eccles. I'll second that. Can I have a show, please?
Are you allowed to? No.
So there's 7 for Sean Middleton, 7 votes for Councillor Jean Eccles. The chairman has the casting vote, so the casting vote is that Jean Eccles will be chair of this council. Thank you.
No, it's not allowed to say, it's not allowed.
That's right.
There's so many not to turn off, so I'm not turning off.
What, tell me? Yeah. Ah, there you go.
Thank you to the councillors that voted for me. I'd just like to thank
I switched it off. Do you want it on?
Well, that would have wasted time.
yeah, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for attending this meeting. I'd just like to thank Councillor Kenyon for his 3 years in chairmanship. And we're just going to move straight on then now to item 2, declarations, to receive the chairman's declaration of acceptance of office. The chairman to sign his declaration of acceptance of office in the ensuing year.
No, it's the best thing I've done in years. This.
Right, item 3, apologies for absence. To receive apologies for absence and consider and approve the reasons for absence. For all attended. Item 4, declarations of interest and dispensation requests. Council should disclose pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in any items of this agenda. Don't really think there is any, but if there is, obviously councillors can make them at the time. Election of vice chairman to elect vice chairman of the council for the ensuing year.
I'll propose Stan Wilson.
I'll second that, Madam Chair.
I'll propose Maxine.
And I'll second that.
Right, can we do the, can we have the first proposal first, which were for Stan? All in, so we'll vote for Stan. Yeah. So that's 7, yeah. So then we've got proposal for councillor Hurd.
Oh, yeah, no, what you said. Oh,
That's 7 again. So chairman has casting the vote. So Sam Wilson is vice chairman. Item 6, to receive the vice chairman's declaration of acceptance of office. The vice chairman to sign is a declaration of acceptance of the office for the ensuing year. Item 7, public question time. If anybody wants to ask a question, can obviously we'll do it hands up, we'll answer it, and if you can give your name so that the clerk can note down everybody and what they're asking, so we can always go back to it. Yes.
Yes, Kathy Thornhill. Kathy Thornhill. Mr. Draper, can I have this minuted, please? And the reason that I want this minuted is because in the last meetings, 2 meetings, that you will be approving the minutes of, the information that I was given on both occasions now turns out was the incorrect information. So sorry to have to keep going over this, but in my eyes, we want a truthful answer, not a fabricated answer that fits the narrative. So on the 24th of March, I asked about an invoice regarding gala tents, which is for the marquee, about the installation. Did that include, was that included in the costs? I was told by the previous chairperson that it was done by in-house by staff. Obviously on the 27th of April, it came to light that there was an invoice in the accounts showing for installation by a contractor. Mr. Kenyon in the meeting said again that it was done in-house due to the fact that the contractor turned up late and he actually helped with the installation. Mr. Draper asked me to send in the information to him, which I did. We've had correspondence backwards and forwards because I wasn't getting the correct information. It now transpires that Mr. Kenyon has said to Mr. Draper that it was done by the contractor, but with the assistance of in-house staff and himself. So what I'm asking is, what is the truth? Because whenever I ask a question in these meetings, I'm getting fabricated answers. A little bit like when I asked about the carpets removed from your property and people actually saw them being burnt. Mr. Draper then came back and said, no, they weren't burnt. They were actually in the skip and that he had physically been down and seen them. So my answer to Mr. Draper was, if he'd seen the carpets in the skip, why didn't he have them removed and put back on your property for you to dispose of them like everybody else would have had to do? So my question is, moving forward, now that you're the new chairperson, can we actually have truthful answers and not fabricated to fit the narrative?
Can I answer the first one, please? Madam Chair, can I answer the first one?
Yes.
Yes, just a question, I think, like you said, it was 24th of March,
Yes.
and which I stated that microphone, what microphone?
Where's the microphone? She's got it in her house.
Excuse me, while I'm asking a question, you don't want to listen.
Can we stop him from talking at people, please?
Excuse me, can we just one speak at a time, please, and come through the chair? Thank you.
Before you answer the question then, Chair, can we ask the gentleman about not to heckle people?
I've just said come through the chair. That applies to everybody.
But it's slightly different to coming through the chair if you're just heckling other people, though. It's not a question. It's just heckling people.
I'd like to answer that if I can. I think from memory, what I said to you, because we go back to 2019, our lads erected all steel work and most of that tent. The contractor did turn up, but he turned up late, about 1 o'clock. Obviously, that's back in about 4 or 5 o'clock. But he did help put the sheets on, because they wouldn't have been able to put them on, because there was a certain way that you had to do it. And then he came back the next day just to check everything and show him how to put ties in. So he was there. He also came on site, if my memory serves me right, when it was taken down first time, just to supervise on folding up and putting away, which they did. So yeah, he was late getting there, but I did tell you that he was on site and he helped put covers on.
He didn't on the 24th, you didn't. You said outright
Yes.
it was done in-house.
Yes, it was
On
done
the
in-house.
27th of April, you did actually say that he turned up late around 2 or 3 o'clock. So again, what?
Yeah, but
Obviously
what
you said that
I'm
you
saying to you is he didn't actually put the steel work up. The council lads put the steel work
Can I
up.
ask why we
He
paid
put
him
the
then?
covers on. He put the covers on and helped put the covers on and supervised finishing off of it.
So why have we
Yeah,
why have
why
we
have we
paid the
paid?
full amount to
Why-
the contractor
Pay
then?
He charged £300 and that figure, I believe, when it was
No,
purchased, was paid prior to him coming out. It was all,
No,
you
it
know,
wasn't.
well,
Well,
whatever
the other
date it
thing
was.
is, what I
No.
want,
Well, I don't pay checks. I mean, Alan pays checks, so your best bet is to ask.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
gets
that's
blamed again.
that's the other thing that I've actually asked Mr. Draper and he hasn't come back to me. I've asked, normal businesses have a visitors book where contractors sign in and out of. Mr. Draper hasn't come back to me to say if there is a visitors book and whether I can view it.
That particular day, it never stopped raining. And he turned up about 1 or 2 o'clock, and he was there while about 5 or 6 o'clock. And whatever they did, he invoiced council for it, and council were obliged to pay it.
Well,
And to be honest with you, without his help, that wouldn't have got finished that day.
Right, is there any more questions?
yeah, I've
Well,
actually
we
got
covered
another-
by Health and Safety's Work Act.
So,
Like, you
Mr.
know.
Draper, can you answer that about the visitors book, or are you going to actually correspond back?
I'll
to me?
correspond with it. It's only been a couple of days, hasn't it?
Okay,
Right.
and the next question is
Oh, he's got a
The-
question.
item 16, which is the asset register, which again I brought up in the 24th of March meeting about when would it be published. And I also said it needed to be in more detail. Mr. Draper actually said to me, well, he wouldn't itemise everything because he couldn't itemise bottles of water. Can I just actually point out an asset register isn't your stock, that's called stock, not assets. So can the asset register be done in a more professional way with more in-depth detail, please?
Well,
It will be updated again.
Thank you.
so is there any more questions? Can we have your name and yes, sir.
Right, just reverting back to what this lady had, and it's to Mr. Kenyon. Right, these council lads, what you said, erected this steelwork, have they got any certificates to say they're allowed to do it, yes or no? If they haven't, you are breaking the law.
They don't need them.
Yes, you do.
Right,
Yes, you do.
We can't, I've just been informed, we cannot discuss council staff.
Right, so I've just asked a question about the certificate of erecting steelwork. If they haven't got one, they are not allowed to do it. And he is breaking the law. One way or another, he's breaking the law.
Reporters to
Okay.
health and safety.
I'll report you to health and safety, Mr. Kenyon, because you know,
Excuse me, if
a
you
rubbish
sit
man.
down, I'm gonna have you removed from meeting.
I'll sit down, here.
Right, is there any more questions, please? Right, no, so we'll move on. Item 8, chairman's allowance. Sorry, down. Chairman's allowance, you have to read this next one out.
To determine the amount of the chairman's allowance present in a session 15 Local Government Act 1972.
Mr. Vice Chairman, the current allowance is £2,000. It's up to the council tonight whether it wants to keep that or amend it.
It's up to £2,000.
It's £2,000 at the moment, but it's up to the council. The council can keep it that, can make it nothing, or half that's just up to the council. If it's a proposal.
Yeah, but at the moment it's 2,000.
It's usually put back into council anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. The money he gets, he puts it back in council anyway. So,
I'll second
I'm
it.
gonna, yeah,
I think it should be
All in
less.
favour of that?
all in favour, it stops as it is. Yeah.
That's 7. Yeah, no, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. So, Mr. Vice Chairman, you cast out for all those against that.
Is there anybody against that? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's carried, yeah.
With that, we'll move on to item 9, committee structure and terms of reference. To confirm or otherwise determine the council's committee structure and the according respective terms of reference.
Yeah, there are still the three standing committees, Madam Chair. I recommend that the same structure remains.
Are we all in favour of that? That it remains the same? Yeah. Item 10, committee membership to appoint members to serve on committees.
Currently, Madam Chair, so it has to be a minimum of 3 councillors and a maximum of 14 in each committee. So it needs a proposal between those. I'm having order by saying that Norman Council Mitchell can't usually attend committee meetings, so the standard practice has been to have all members apart from them. If I'm incorrect, then please do credit to Mitchell.
Eric, do you want to say,
I'd have to leave meetings.
yeah, no, that's fine, I mean, it's not as if you have just done it, you saw the same last year, weren't it, so that's fine. Any day.
I don't want to be going walking out.
No, no,
You spoke on.
yeah, so can we have a vote on that? Item 11, calendar of meetings to agree dates, times, venues and meetings for the ensuing year.
Same as previous.
Are we having the same as previous years? Yeah.
Yeah.
Item 12, financial regulations to review and adopt the council's financial regulations.
There's been no changes to the.
Item 13,
You need to vote on it now.
sorry, excuse me, yeah. So it's not changed, so are we going to vote the same?
Well, what is it?
Right?
Yeah.
Got that one, financial regulations, what is it? Read it out loud. Read it out.
Item 13, standing orders and code of conduct to review and adopt the council standing orders and the code of conduct.
They're the same as well, so yeah.
Can we have a show for say the same? Item 14, data protection, general data protection regulations, GDPR, to review and adopt the council's data protection GDPR policies.
They were amended and reviewed in March, so it's just to reaffirm those.
Are they
See,
going to
with
get, are they
regards
going to
to the
get
email that
followed?
we've Received today, can we move that one? I want to review them again,
Yeah,
please.
They need reviewing again, then.
yeah,
It can be
definitely.
deferred then.
Right, so we'll defer it and then gives all councillors to have another look as well. Item 15, policies to review and adopt all other policies, i.e. equal opportunities complaints, media, staff handbook, whistleblowing and recording of the council meetings.
They're the same.
Can we have a show of hands to say the same? 16, asset register to review and adopt the council's asset register.
The updated version on the website next week.
Item 17, representatives on the outside bodies to appoint 2 voting representatives to the Yorkshire Local Councils Association. Is anybody wanting this? You need 2 members?
It's currently yourself and Councillor Westmoreland, Madam Chair.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that wants to?
I'll have one.
Yeah, so I'll nominate Maxine.
I'll second Maxine.
So, Donna Moran, Maxine Aird.
No, I don't want to be on it. I'm nominating Maxine.
Right, so I'm Westmoreland, Maxine Aird.
Just talk it over. Yeah, so.
18, general power of competence to confirm the council's eligibility to the general power of competence.
It's the same, yes.
Item 19, legal advisors solicitors to appoint legal advisors solicitors for the council in respect of planning and general legal matters and human resources.
I think these need looking at. I think these need reviewing.
Definitely need reviewing then. Don't they?
Right, so can we have,
Propose it stays same.
yeah, have we got a second? So,
Unbelievable, they've lost everything. They've got
so
these.
can we have a show of hands on that then to say the same, for the same?
Still needs reviewing.
Right, have we got any other proposals then?
She goes against.
A vote against?
That's 8.
So,
Those then that we review.
Yes.
yeah,
Definitely review.
Madam Chair, can I just clarify with members, until that review takes place, there are some ongoing cases that will meet it is okay with that, yeah, so to.
Can you get some proposals together, Oliver?
Item 20, town council meetings to approve the respective minutes of the council meetings held on 24th of March 2022 and 7th of April 2022 and the extraordinary council meetings held on 14th and 27th of April 2022 as detailed in minute book 7. Can we have a move?
Can I just ask that lady? You know, in the minutes, what you mentioned,
Yes.
does it specifically state in minutes that I stated that we didn't have any assistance?
You haven't produced the minutes. It was on the 24th of March and the 27th of April.
That's
You're
Yeah, I
actually-
think this is
You
what we're
actually said it.
approving now. Yeah.
The
We
issues
could
are
watch the
listed.
video though.
And on the video, Mr. Kenyon, you actually say that it was done in-house. You actually said
Yeah,
that.
when I meant it was done in-house, he came and supervised how to put covers on it, and was finishing off.
No, she said he wasn't
No,
there. What I suggest you do is look at the video.
Yeah, yeah,
and you can see
I
it for
apologise for
yourself.
that. What does it say in minutes, Alan?
It says, it's the issue, it says the marking of the copy. Didn't
Can we actually read these minutes before you put them out, Alan? I have no reason. I need to see your email. I need to see the email.
Now you need to say it now.
Right, item 21, committees and subcommittee meetings. So we've got to adopt the minutes of committees and their respective subcommittees as follows. Leisure and Recreation, 7th of April 2022. Finance, 14th of April 2022. Policy and Planning, 14th of April 2022. Can we have a second? Yeah. Item 22, accounts for payments, to confirm the payments of account and approve the finance committee meeting held on the 14th of April 2022.
Yeah, move
Item 23, plant machinery, possible disposal, to consider disposing of some, all of the council's plant machinery.
After all money that's been spent on it.
Can you just,
Madam Chair, just before members take a vote on this, I've spoken to the grounds maintenance lads, and the only thing they would ask that they be kept is a smaller digger, not what the size of it is now, but a smaller one, but obviously it's up to the council.
so I don't think the tractor and the grass cutters, anything, it's not even in that anyway.
I've asked for this. We've got this machinery originally for the sports complex and all the big jobs, what we thought was going to come up. Right, and what happened was, I got the digger, the trailer, and the tractor to pull it. But unfortunately, the tractor will not. It will pull it in first gear, low, up Park Hill. What's another thing? Rob could drive it, and that's about all. It's been misused in park, and I'm asking for disposal and get a smaller one, like someone mentioned, half the size or quarter, whatever is decided. It's far too big. The trailer is too, the trailer and the digger is far too heavy for that tractor. Now the tractor's brilliant, the cutter's brilliant, but then we've got a dumper, 8 ton. It went down bottom of part last year, it's still seen where it went.
I've got to agree, you know, I think majority of what's been done, and I can't see why we can't have a, you know, get these sold if all members agree, and then get a smaller.
If you put them in part exchange, but a smaller digger, not a massive thing
I
like
think
that.
we, you know, we agreed to that anyway. I think that, like I just
But I
said,
want to vote on this.
well, we're gonna vote on it anyway, so, are we all in the same
Can we get
mindset?
some valuations?
Yeah,
Bring it back.
I think no, that's what the motion is. The motion is to sell.
We need a valuation first. We just.
No,
just
no,
discuss
no,
it.
fine.
can you go through chair, please?
Sorry, Chair. The actual motion is that he wants to sell them. If you want to amend that motion, but we need to vote on it first.
So we've got,
Selling prior to a price.
Well, no, you're not just going to randomly put it on eBay, are you? But what I'm talking about is the motion is to sell it. Do we agree to sell it? Then we get prices.
I don't think we'll be selling it on eBay.
I don't either. I'm being facetious, sorry. But that's.
I think it's other way around. We need a valuation for this chair, then to move to sell it.
Shouldn't have got it in the
We
first
didn't get a
place.
valuation not long ago.
And the
To sell
trailer.
them.
The trailer don't move.
It's been proposed to sell them and get a smaller machine. So can we first vote on that, and then if there's any amendments, we can vote on that. So, oh, sorry.
Could I just ask,
uh,
Chair?
yeah.
I understand where Freeman is coming from, but I keep getting told like there's a lot of role playing on Cemetery Road, is that right? In car park
It's
there,
on
and
Sandygate.
it's on Sandygate, and I mean, does all that one shifting and?
Well, the idea was to extend car park, but because of COVID, we never got around to it.
I mean, will that happen now?
Well, well, you can still do it with a smaller digger, but not as fast.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, if there's a lot of work for it to do the work and dispose of them, that's, you know, most of the work.
So am I right in saying that obviously we've got one staff that can use these machines on the road?
We've got one staff that can get them to site, and then we've got 3 staff that can use them.
So we're gonna,
Check, can I just?
Yeah.
So we get a price what the cost 6 months ago on the meetings, I believe we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We got a price for how much the equipment was worth about 6 months ago.
The digger, I think.
Yeah, we
Quite-
did.
Quite a bit, yeah. So it's not some, things like that, prices there already.
so if we've got a price, then
We've got the values on it, not the price. We've got what the value of that.
Well, I think it's to assess what work we've got first to do, and then get while it's being done, get a valuation on them, and then if they're not being used every week, then yeah, I agree with that, move them on. They've done the job.
can we go back to,
Madam Chair, there's
Right.
one thing you forgot, which I mentioned before to you. The tractor won't pull it. First low gear going that Churchill, there's no other gear.
Pete, it's been to Emsworth allotments a dozen times, been to West End allotments a dozen times. There's car park to dig out at Wannaville, that's one of the waiting for plans to come through for that. So it could do that job, and like I said, if we assess, we've got 2 months' work for it, get a valuation and then move it on so we can get best considered.
right, so we'll have to
It
go
goes all
back.
that one, value, will it?
Councillor Hardacre has proposed to sell. Well, we'll do that first, and then we'll have any amendments. So, all those councillors that want to sell the plant.
I'll put it this way to myself, it's still trees. I've looked through
I mean, we
it.
ought to say-
He wants to do it. He wants to
Right.
do it
Yeah,
and
well,
then sell it.
yeah, well, that's probably,
No, I'm saying that would be a good idea. Then it can.
That's carried, Gene, that.
it's carried anyway. so.
I'd flown away then.
Item 24, seaside trip provisions of coaches to consider the provision of coaches for seaside trips for parishioners during the summer holidays. Councillor Hurd.
Yeah, that's me, that, I think we should put some on for kids during summer holidays, because when people are struggling at the minute, I think they deserve to get away for a day or 2.
Well, it won't cost much to sell all that machinery, will it?
What about no coffee?
So, yeah, a couple of days day trips for parishioners, I think.
So, how many buses are we talking about, Maxine?
Well, we need to figure out if we're gonna.
Well, we need to do a business plan then, don't we?
Oh, here we go. That's a good one, isn't it? That one.
Chair, please.
A business
I'm just
plan.
telling you, that would have good in that, Jean.
It's not a business plan if you're not making money share, that's not really what a business.
So what you're saying is that we've got to wait now to
Cost
see whether
is-
kids can go on a day trip.
Yeah.
Can I sell that big tractor? They can buy a bus
No, we're not paying the business.
and then they get a bus driver.
So I think, Alan, you need to get some costing on that one, didn't you, is it? Oh, okay.
Have to wait for your day trips, ladies and gents.
Can I suggest that you at least
Right,
start with
so-
two coaches?
Two coaches makes sense, yeah. Maxine, are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that.
I'll second it.
Then you're only gonna get a small proportion of people on two coaches. There's gonna be people that are gonna be able to be upset when they can't take the kids. And then there's obviously
But
parents
it's
as
two
well.
coaches of kids that are going to the seaside more than none before, isn't it?
No, I'm only saying
Well,
that you'll upset a lot of people, that's all. You can't, you can't take everybody, can you?
See, last year when they did it, I'm not saying not wrong, but when Shane did it, it was a good thing, you see, but when we want to do it, it's
There's a
not,
difference
isn't it?
with council doing
Just
it
a
and
minute,
individuals doing it.
just a minute, I want Nancy to come in.
Well, Maxine, nothing to do with
I know it, I
that.
know,
That was
but do you know what I mean? This is what I'm not, I just said, it. I didn't mean no wrong about what you did brilliantly last
Yeah,
year.
but why did you make it look something to do with council? And chances have you did nothing to do with council.
I say well to do with council. No, I didn't say we don't do with council.
Can we just come to order then? We're gonna,
Don't throw funny faces at me.
I'm not pulling faces at you.
excuse me. If you can't come to order.
Yeah.
Right, so we're gonna get some, if you don't come to order, we'll have a vote for you to leave the room.
You're not gonna get me to leave room though, are you?
You don't think to order, Maxine.
It's a public place.
It's a
You're
council
still saying it's a
meeting.
council meeting.
It's not a public place, it's
Yeah.
public and attending, yes. Jane,
Why don't we just, instead of bickering, why don't we just go ahead and say, right, we're gonna do it for 200 people, or whatever the coaches that, and look into it, see how much it costs and get it done.
yeah, I think Anne's gonna get some
Yeah.
costings on and how many people
Well,
Adults and
two
how
grand.
old they're gonna be as well. There's
How
other
old, sorry?
things, how
Oh,
old,
okay.
if they can go on their own, what age group you want to do, if you wanted to.
No, you don't think of it that way.
If we do families,
Yeah, right, okay then. So we'll bring that back then,
It's all it's talking about.
Sorry,
We voted to consider it.
we need to vote first, so it's Maxine put a motion forward, Maxine, do you want to keep it at 4 coaches? So Maxine put a motion forward, to take 4 coaches to the seaside, I'll second it, and then we need to vote on it.
Yeah.
We passed these standing orders and said we agreed to them, I don't think anybody's following them.
Are we gonna do it?
we were all in, I think we're all in agreement with it, that's why, and sometimes it just happens like that.
so if we vote to
But
pass
if
it,
this is what you, if this is
If we
what
vote
you
to
need to be
pass
done
it,
everything,
and then
every
look at the
time,
costing.
we'll do
pass
it.
it, if
Yeah,
it's
pass it,
feasible.
Pass it, look at cost and see how many is interested. If 500 people apply to go on it, you're looking at 20 buses at 500 quid a piece, it's 10 grand. You can't sit around to these. and say,
They're not
"Look at
allowed to
it,
go on
you
one."
can't."
We just do a ballot.
No, but,
Have you tried to start applying for a community grant, a local capital community grant? So the next meeting is 16th of May, and it's for things like probably this that you could apply for, and maybe get more coaches and give the kids some pocket money and things like that. So that's worth a thought.
And you, yeah. Right, so we've got a proposal. Are we gonna vote on that proposal
For 4 coaches, then.
for 4 coaches
And then get some costings.
and then get some costings?
Yeah.
Is that what we're gonna vote on?
yeah,
4 coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't lift my umbrella.
Item 25, defibrillator Kingsley, to consider provision of a defibrillator in Kingsley.
It's cost about £800 and the location as well.
Is there any ideas for location?
There's resource centre, isn't there?
Resource centre.
There's one at Water Park, the one halfway up
Yeah.
towards Fitzwilliam, because there's one at Fitzwilliam.
So-
Range station.
But there's already one in Fitzwilliam.
Yeah, the one in between Fitzwilliam and Water Park.
I can ask resource centre for permission.
You are.
Is resource centre locked tonight though, the gate?
Yeah, it's
The
got to
idea is,
be,
ideal, it hasn't got to be, but preferably 24-hour access.
can you look into it, obviously, you know, where best location?
They had one before.
Altogether, it's about 1,000.
They had one before down there, didn't they?
Right, so I think we've agreed that we do want one, obviously 1,800 fitted. So we'll leave that with you, Alan, and yeah, so we've all approved that anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, just somebody that's watching the live streams just said, could we have the defibrillator at the ping? Whatever that
No,
is.
because it's too near
No,
Water
you
Park.
can't, it's too near Water
Just
Park.
saying, one of the residents asking, so.
There's gonna be
Somebody
solar at
else
the
is
same place.
suggesting the learning and community centre.
Yeah, that's about central.
That'll be
Yeah,
about the
because we do
middle.
have one at the cafe bar, so I think that's more better, yeah. Alan, did you get that? Item 26, council chamber photographs of past chairman to consider the provision of framed photographs in the council chamber for all past chairmen.
This one's mine, I think it's the right word, provision. So it's not just me who raised it, I know a few others have said it. When we were in the council chambers the other week, I noticed that there's 2 nails with pictures missing.
Yeah.
So we've done some checking and 2 of those photos have been removed. It's the council's history, it needs to go back up again. And we can continue that with every chair, but we don't get to select and we don't get to remove them.
What with that?
Yeah, well, that's fine. Where are they, Alan?
I think we're gonna get the pictures.
Right,
We'll get you
so-
pictures.
They've disappeared anyway,
I
because
think-
they were there.
I don't think they disappeared, they've been somewhere. Could you look into that?
They have got to have one for every.
Item 27, local infrastructure and facilities to consider contacting Wakefield Council with concerns regarding the lack of local infrastructure and facilities. Well,
Yeah, I'm concerned, well, I think everybody is about losing these facilities, especially playing facilities for children, football teams, etc. Everything's going under houses.
Yeah,
There's not going to be a blade of grass somewhere in this parish. It's disgusting.
it is very disgusting.
Houses and fast food. Yeah. That's planning where it's disgusting.
well, we do have
Well,
newly elected.
Yeah, would you like me to speak?
yeah.
Yes,
Thank
you.
Hey, come on.
Well,
On the issue, yeah, what is just
Yeah,
raised, yeah.
well, I am newly elected. I was the one that actually put the plans out there that were happening up Highfield Road, because nobody else did. And it was shared all over and people took my Facebook post and shared it everywhere. I've actually launched comments. Have you all launched comments on the site?
Yes.
Yeah, every single one of you.
No.
No, I have.
We've
No.
done it through the council. through the
Right.
chair,
Well,
through
I would
the-
ask you all, councillors, to put your comments on that site, because we need every single one of you to object.
Yeah.
Now, the objection is to it being taken out and put into the plan. The next thing will be planning permission, if that would go forward. And again, you do need to object to planning as a town council, but also as individual councillors, as I will be doing. And I will be supporting every resident against any planning that encroaches on our green spaces. So you all need to too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't pinch your
I didn't say
Highfield
you
Road
did.
thing. If you look at mine, it's a bit illiterate, for want for a better word. So if I pinched it, I'll put the illiteracies down to you.
I didn't say you
Thank you.
did.
Madam Chair,
I didn't say that.
No, what did you didn't say it about being shared?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything about
But,
Rachel's
level 4 did say,
You know what I mean?
for the councils to
Are you
put
talking to
everything
me?
for the clerk, and I think that's what you've done. So, you know, we taking advice from, level 4 as
It's
well.
good to have that though, isn't it?
The
Because
more
it's
you
only
put
one
in-
vote then,
the more
well,
you
only
put in,
one
the better
thing.
it
Well,
We've got-
I did
Everybody's got
mention
to put one
the last-
separately.
I did mention it on the last one, as Councillor Middleton said. I did say you need to, because I was on planning at Wakefield for 4 years. And you have every, like, Melanie Jones has just said, that you don't do it collectively and petitions because it classes as one vote. So I did mention that, and that's why it got mentioned again. So if that's what it takes to do, that's what we'll do.
So can I just ask you, just actually said you've got to do them individually. So why have you done it through the town council? Because
We've done it as
through
the council,
that
we
will
can
be just,
do it.
but that will be just
It's
classed
closed now.
as
can't do it.
one.
We've done it. as
It's
individual
closed
as
now.
well. Individually.
I've done mine.
Well,
You never
I-
Woodlands.
I mean, it's just a lesson learned, innit? We can't do it about this one, but as Councillor Jones says, you know, moving forward, we're all now aware that that's how we need to do it and do it on behalf of our constituents that we represent.
I think we've got 85 on the website.
It's still growing as well.
And
Why
it's
is
still
that?
growing, so people are.
No, it's still, we're still faking out P21. No.
Right, item 28, oh, sorry, excuse, Julie.
Can I just say something? Several meetings, one or two councillors have actually said, well, what's John Trickett doing about it? Can I say Mr. Trickett has done everything about it. He's been on board, he's been supporting us since last August. He's actually spoke very well. I don't know if you all saw his comment speech after the Queen's speech the other day. He spoke absolutely brilliantly about his constituency, about how deprived we are, about how he cares, how he's committed, and that's how he's done for the residents of Woodlands and residents of Springvale Rise. He even came on election result day to my house last Thursday. We spent some time going through it all. So before another councillor says, which I believe came from this side, well, what's John Trickett doing about it? Let me just tell you, Mr. John Trickett is doing everything about it. It's just a shame this council didn't.
Item 28, local playing fields. To consider contacting Sports England with concerns regarding local playing fields being used for other uses and not being replaced or timelessly or otherwise.
Councillor Mitchell, same sort of thing.
Again, Jane, it's, when we've got young children wanting this council to find them a playing field, and we're just saying that we can't have a ball being taken. It's beyond belief, Jane, what's going on. Sorry,
Change.
Chair.
Yes.
I don't believe it, Chair, and I do think we need to get Sport England on board and see if they can bring an halt to it.
We've got land in Fitzwilliam.
We've got land in Fitzwilliam. Sorry, love, sorry.
You know, I mean, they're on about now, there's a full-size football pitch at Byfield Road. It should be replaced by a full-size pitch, full-size football pitch.
Yeah.
They're on about replacing it with a junior pitch. It's not good enough, Chair.
No. Alan, can you do some contacting?
I have written to Sporting with myself in the past about it, expressing concern, but
Jane.
very disappointed.
I'd just like to say I would like the town council to work with me on this rather than against me. Obviously, I want to see sports facilities in Hemsworth, Kinsley, Fitzwilliam and South Hindley. So I would hope that you would support me on this. I have put this to planning and I would like you to support me on this. Thank you.
Well, I think we're all in the same mind with that. Obviously, you know, one of the things that we're going to mention was actually getting our district buses here, especially at a full council meeting, you know, to see what you even bet me to that. Yeah, but I know you are, but we have two others, and I think it would be nice to get us all involved as well. I know you just said that, and that's great, and that's the first because not many do.
Yeah, well, they're on about land to make pictures for kids, football pictures, big or small. There's land at Fitzwilliam. You know, it's been told to council.
Sorry, sorry.
Go on,
You can call me you can call me anything you want. You'll be politer than a lot of people. We've got land at Fitzwilliam. Well, we've got land at Kinsley, we've got land but if you do it properly, you can split it between the older ones and the younger ones. If you do it, they don't all have to go on the same day. You know, and if you do it right, it's it'll work out right. But nobody was listening. Nobody's listened. The council hasn't listened to us.
Right.
Chair, I asked Alan if he'd, the council would write a letter of thanks to Mr. Rowley for offering facilities for children from, you know, from area to play football, like, you know, it might as well play like as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's wrote to him, but and obviously,
It's on next agenda, I've just been informed.
Yeah.
It's a pity that people weren't saying that 12 or 13 years ago when we got.
Oh my God, can we move
Can
progress,
you just let him
please?
speak, please?
Can we move progress?
No, we can't, he hasn't said anything yet.
It's a pity that 12 or 13 years ago that people weren't saying that. And I'm saying, I hear to say, yes, we need this sport facility. Why didn't you say that 12 or 13 years
We
ago?
were doing
Try and save it.
We
There
were.
were 1,000 people marched down there.
We were
And they
doing
just
it.
ignored.
No,
There were, man. But and the other thing, right, the rank hypocrisy of things that I see now, I cannot believe it. As regards now, you know, the LP21, there's been a lynch mob up here for the last how many weeks, etc. And the thing is, as regards that LP21, in 2017, right, the town council was made aware that proposals were there to build to the east of Wakefield Road. Now, where do you think they were going to build it? Was it going to be on the church? Was it going to be on the park? Was it going to be on the college? Or was it going to be in the clouds? The only place it could have been was where they're proposing it to be now. And as regards the rank hypocrisy, as regards Wakefield, they've not done the job. You've got a situation where the chair of planning, right, has done a lot of looking and disappeared, and the district councillors as well. And now they've got the hypocrisy to turn up and they say it's much needed housing when it were down here, and yet they want sports facilities up there.
Sorry, Chair,
Can I come back on that?
Can I just ask what his question is?
Yes.
My
question. Can I come in, Chair?
Can we just?
Yes, the question is, why are you all a bunch of hypocrites?
Can I come in, please? Can I come in, Chair?
If we're going to do this
orderly. Progress, Chair.
No, can I
No,
come
you're
in?
not moving progress, you won't move it for him.
Please, may I come in, Chair? I'll let you come in, thank you. I was elected last Thursday. Yeah, and I'm here.
Why weren't you at the meeting with the night?
Because I was in training.
Right.
Well, none about sports facilities and everything else for young. What about schools for young? Near mine taking Greenbelt and everything. Put 3 schools at back at Woodlands. The summer, but do it for community infrastructure, not for housing development, so you can have preset payers money in council tax. They can have as many fields as they want, but we are schools to educate kids. What's the point?
Well,
there's no money in schools, is there? There's no money in schools for them. That's why they'll build houses.
Yeah. But that's what we need. We need some infrastructure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Never disagree with anything to do with the planning and what's happening in area. It's ridiculous. We've got Melanie Jones here. I'm sure she's going to take it back. She's been taking notes. And I'm sure that something will be done about it. But we need to get the other councils as well on board. Right, we're going to move on now to 29 Hemsworth Water Park Fun Fair. To consider a request to have a fun fair at the park during the August bank holiday weekend.
Members be aware that we use the top fields and overflow, so if you let them there, the balance.
Yeah, but where's this come from? I mean,
It's from Tony, he was going to.
right, so you've had an inquiry about it then. So what do people think about that? We cannot, obviously,
Can I just ask, so is this the same company who, for the Queen's Festival says yes, they would do a fun fair, and then last minute says, no, they wouldn't do a fun fair?
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not correct, that.
It is
They
correct.
do a fun fair, and then they said they couldn't do the fun fair.
Because.
Jim, we've had an email conversation on this, and I've proved
Can we
to you
just
the
not-
conversation.
can we
It's
just do
just
one?
chairing the meeting from the other side of the room, though, isn't it?
He's not
Yeah.
chairing.
Yeah, it is,
it.
it is, trying to
he's
do
not.
it, it is, he's trying,
No, he's not.
He's trying.
Right.
trying.
Chair, can I just say, I've
See,
had
it's as simple as that.
Right, but I've had a conversation with you about this, Jim, already. You're saying that the fair was cancelled when we cancelled the Venga Boys. That's incorrect. After we cancelled the Venga Boys, there was a motion brought to the meeting where that gentleman asked if he could have a fair on that ground on that same date. Now, either you're misunderstanding or you're trying to gaslight. But please stop repeating things that are not true.
Right,
Because
can
you're
we-
making us all look stupid.
Right,
Can I answer
can we
that,
have,
Chair?
can we have a response now?
Right,
to
our
that?
response to that, Johnny Tucker were asked as part of the summer festival to provide a fun fair. They were also providing fencing for us free of charge, if you remember, which was £11 thing. And
Yeah,
then
that
when
was
that
festival.
was cancelled,
Yeah.
he went to another village, he went somewhere else. And by the time we'd asked him for that date again, put third and that weekend, he were already booked
So why
somewhere
did we,
else.
after that
So
meeting,
that-
then, why did he ask to put a fair on that ground?
Because
I've got it in the notes.
If this council had just cancelled part of summer festival and kept him on,
no.
others would have still been able to have him.
Well, the fact is, you
Yeah.
can't do it, and we couldn't do that. We can do this now, so,
I agree with that.
Fine.
So where would we propose to put this fair?
well, this is what we're saying. Alan's just said that car park is used for
I agree with
overspill.
that,
And it can't go on the car park in the park,
No.
because that's car park.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, so several years ago, when there was some land that was redone and correctly so and all voted for, wasn't part of the deal, we'll level it and fence it, and then we'll let the council use it.
I know the book about it.
Yeah, that we're, your side as well, that's what I'm saying. But they agree with-
Farmer's side, why can't we just use that as an overflow car park and then let another fair at top?
It was agreed for the Venga Boys, and obviously
Oh,
for
well,
any.
don't put them in there, so we can't have it anymore.
No. You see, I can see you're not listening to me, are you? You just want to jump in to make things worse. No, can you just listen to me response then?
Yeah, it was.
We agreed for any special occasions. That's what we agreed to. And I mentioned the Venga Boys because that was the priority. Then the seaside event, bonfire and so on. And that's what we mentioned.
I think a fun fair, special event.
Yeah.
August bank holiday.
And
It's a
I
special
think,
event.
I think people, councillors seem to forget as well, that the last fair we had on the.
Oh, yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for it.
and that,
I like personally.
and, well, if you did, then thank you, but I didn't see anybody else saying anything. But that's not the point. It's not about that for us. But the money that the council originally going to get for the Overspill car park that they couldn't make because it was too soggy and everything, obviously, they did come to us and we said yes. And we mentioned at the meeting that money would stay at the council. So that was £800. Also, let me just say as well, that when they had the bonfire, because there's many rumours going around on Facebook and others, that the money that were taken at that car park was put in the council coffers for the community, not it wasn't charged at £5 a piece in the Eccles coffers. And so let's get this straight, that's £1,080.
You're answering the question I'm asking
£1,080.
Georgine, I'm asking, can we use that?
No,
car
but
park?
you
Can we
jumped
have it
in,
there?
you jumped in on the first thing, and I just want to make that clear.
Jean, can I just correct you on that? Because in previous meetings, it hasn't been £800 being taken.
It wasn't £800 being
You've just
taken.
said, you've just
I
said.
said 280.
No, you
You said
didn't. You said
800.
800. I did say not.
You did. You said 800. You said 800.
I apologise. I apologise. It was £800 for the fare, and then on bonfire night, the cars paid £1 to park, and it went to the council. That's £1,080 into the council.
Yes.
Despite what everybody's been saying about these huge amounts of money. Right, we are going to move on. Well, we're not going to move on because we need to decide whether this fun fair is going to go ahead or not. Well, I'm opening it to councillors to see what you say.
What's your recommendation, Alan?
It's that time of year, the overflow car park is needed because it's packed. You know, other times of the year when you have the fair, obviously it's too wet up there and less busy. So it's needed for the overflow car park really, but it's up to you.
So you're recommending that we can't really accommodate it?
Not there, no, because if you have it there, that's the overflow car park on probably the busiest weekend of the year. And it gets busy enough as it is. If you have the fair and take that car park, the gridlock will be doubly bad.
No, so are we going to all vote on?
Somebody wants,
A gentleman.
gentleman there.
Can the dog track not be asked if they can do it in their car park?
Well, they have done it before, but then again, it's bank holiday, isn't
Can
it?
they be
So
asked again then?
they might be.
Can they not be asked again?
So can we ask them to, can we
But it's not things that
Mr. Tucker about actually going to dog track? So we've agreed then, we're going to, Mr. Tucker.
They have done it for the fair up there.
We don't have an overflow car park.
It's state, isn't it? Stupid.
So what did we pay that for?
What did that say? We paid that for
Item
nothing then.
13, freedom of information request, town clerk to report on anonymised freedom of information requests received and to authorise the respective responses accordingly.
Other than the ones Kathy sent us, there's no others.
Item 31, exclusion of press and public, members of the.
Yeah, she mentioned it herself today. Yes, she forgive me, she mentioned it herself already. The cat was out of the bag already.
Yes, all right, yes, absolutely.
Item 31, exclusion of press and public, members of the public and the press to be excluded in consideration of business of a confidential nature as per the Public Body submission to Meetings Act 1960. So very good evening and have a safe journey home.